we write that down? Cool. And would it be fair that, would be kind, we need 8 hours sleep? Would you agree? Anyone need more than 8 hours sleep in a working week? So 8 hours would be quite fair. Okay, yeah? So put 8 hours in one of the boxes. And would we say, on average, we have to work, there is exceptions, occasionally we'll have to do serious hours, but the majority of the time we do around 8 to 10 hours, would you say? 8 to 10 hours with a few exceptions. I'm talking an average of a year when I'm talking. I'm not talking about this present moment. Would everyone agree? Yeah? So, let's put 8 hours, but if you need those other 2 hours, then you do 10-hour shifts, then I can go into that. And so that leaves us with 8 hours to deal with. Yeah? So, we're going to need to eat. Yeah? So we'll put another hour there, so minus an hour there. Yeah? So that leaves us with 7 hours. So, what else do we have to do in our day?
Cook food.
Cook food. Half an hour?
Half an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah.
Alright, we'll say an hour. We ran out, so I'm not good at maths. Okay. Anything else? Travel. We'll travel. An hour, 2 hours, there and back, travel. Okay. Anything else? Supermarket.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to the supermarket every day?
More or less, yeah.
20
minutes.
Okay. 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. 20 minutes. Okay. Anything else? No? Leisure. Okay. Shower. That's a good one. So we'll make, let's say go to the supermarket and shower up. So it makes up to an hour. Because we're going to need to do our makeup, some of us have our nose. Okay, so we made that an hour. Okay, so 2, 4, 5. Okay, yeah? And what was that? Leisure. TV, relax. Okay. So what we say, gym in for an hour? Yeah? Cool. Are we pretty much there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're pretty much there, yeah? Cool? Yeah? So, that would be 6 hours here. Okay? 2, 4, 6 hours. And that would leave us 2 hours left. Okay? Out of our whole day. So let's just say you might do, you get busy, things happen, people talk to you, blah, 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 so we might start out. So that would leave us 1 hour after our busy schedule. And this is an average of a whole year, by the way. Okay? So we have 1 hour. Now that could have been, you mentioned watch TV, chill out. But the thing is, to achieve our goal, a lot of our time is going to be taken up by external factors. Sleep, work, food, supermarket, makeup, shower, so on. So this is my point. That if you continue your cycle that you're doing at the moment, you will never find time to do that goal. And it will be another year, until that goal passed itself 10 times over. Until we figure out how to work that 1 hour a day. Now Dennis Whaley talks about this, and he says that the most successful people in our society at the moment are people that work in prime time. And prime time, any time from 7 till 9 o'clock. They're the people who, once they finish work, trading in time for money, linear pay, they find a way of finding a residual income. And that could be writing a book, it could be just working on your passions, working on your goals, whatever's on your sheet. Prime time, Dennis Whaley talks about. Otherwise, you'll continue your same cycle. Does that make sense? Also with the TV, someone mentioned that will be heading towards your goal. So TV, Dennis Whaley talks about about this as well is the income reducing machine. Okay? It's the idiot box that kills so much time. So many people spend their time on that. If it's something, you really love that program, fair enough. But if you truly want that goal, that's what we're talking about. If you truly want that goal that's on the list, then you're going to have to sacrifice. And that more likely, we're going as a whole in the Western world, will be watch less TV. Is that cool? Is that all right with everyone? Yeah. Let me know if I lose you. So, attitude. Attitude, positive or negative. So, on the attitude side of things, be very aware of what you're saying to yourself on a consistent basis. I always think back when I was a kid and I used to watch Tom and Jerry, and there used to always be a scenario where Tom had to make a decision. And when he's making that decision, there would be the devil on one shoulder saying, yeah, go ahead, Tom, don't do that, it'll be something naughty. And on the other side, there will be that angel, and he's a more quieter voice, and he's saying, no, don't do it, don't do it. But the devil on the other side, the more negative side, that will be more louder. You have to choose to listen, be very aware of what you're saying on a consistent basis. Social scientists done tests in the 1970s on affirmations, and they done tests on people that didn't say no affirmations and continued their lives as they did, to people that said on a consistent basis positive affirmation. Affirmation is anything said on a consistent basis, like a line, like I am a success in every area of my life. I can, I will, I must. And drastically after a year, the ones that had positive affirmations succeed far beyond people who continue their lives with no affirmations. And they were told when a negative thought came in to say at least twice a positive affirmation to counterbalance. So basically what I'm saying to you is that be very aware of what you're saying to yourself. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, the book with Susan Jeffers, talks about you've got to be very aware of what you're saying to yourself on a consistent basis. And you've got to be imagined, Anthony Robbins talks about when you imagine you've got gates of your mind. And be very careful what information you let in, because too much negative information can be like weeds in your mind. Okay? I'll tell you a story Jim Rohn mentioned. Jim Rohn is one of my favourite self-development gurus. And Jim Rohn says that it's a true story of a father who was an alcoholic. And he was basically, not only was he an alcoholic, but he was a bum. He never achieved anything, never wanted to achieve anything in his life. And he had 2 kids, and they were twins. Okay? And the father continued the process as the kids grew up. He was an alcoholic and he was a bum. He continued that. Now, one son ended up being a bum and an alcoholic. Okay? Yet the other son ended up to be a self-made millionaire. And studies were taken. They said to them, they asked both of them the same question. So they went to the bum and the alcoholic and they said, how come your life went down the same process as your father? And he said, because my father was a bum and an alcoholic. So then they went to the self-made millionaire, the same brother, and asked him exactly the same question. How come you end up being the other way around? How come you end up being a self-made millionaire? And he said, because my father was an alcoholic and a bum. See that? Same situation, just different reframing. And I'm going to give you examples of reframing. The same wind blows on us all, but it's not the blowing in the wind that determines your destination. It's the set cell. It's where you're headed. It's not the blowing of the wind. It's the scent of the cell. I learned this as well when I decided to get out 10 years ago the retail front. I thought, you know what, I'm going to follow something that I really enjoy. So I wrote down a piece, but I thought, what am I good at? Well, I was a swimmer. I always represented my school. So I thought, you know what? I love Baywatch, I'm a swimmer. I'm going to become a lifeguard. Okay, it's about 9 years ago. And then when I was in that, watching the pool for 8 hours a day is kind of like watching paint dry. Okay, it's not quite the scene I had on Baywatch when I was a kid. And my attitude weren't too great. And I realised that I need to change that up if I was going to achieve in my life. And with that one decision, the things started happening for me. I started moving through the process of achieving what I wanted to achieve, just by that one thought. On the reframing, back to that same story about the father, the bum, and the alcoholic, I think Zig Ziglar says it best, and he says that help enough people, so a good attitude, help enough people get what they want, serve the many, so help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. So find a way to serve the many. Now this could be anything small from, if you're part of the church, to give a helping hand, maybe at Christmas. It could be helping enough people achieve their goals, and then they're going to support you in achieving your goals. So help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. And I think the only person who tops this, in my experience, would be John F. Kennedy. Okay, back onto the reframing of the story I told you, which would be, don't ask what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country. See that? More or less the same words, just a different way of seeing it, different frame. Changing up the frame from the negative to the positive. Is everyone with me? Expectation. Oh, just on the attitude. How many people, like if I was to do a percentage, if someone had a good attitude, and you met them and you thought, you know what, this guy's got, or this lady's got a good attitude, what percentage out of 100% got a good attitude? Wait, I'm thinking like 80% higher, 70% higher. Someone has a good attitude. Would you say that? More or less.
It depends on your own attitude also. When you're coming to meet someone, if you have a good attitude, usually you meet a good attitude also.
Okay.
So, but of course, some more than the positive. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so it'd be pretty high. A good attitude would be a high percentage. And a bad attitude, what will we say? So someone's got bad attitude, out of 100%, he's going to stink quite bad, isn't it? So we're talking 20%, 10, 5, yeah. He's going to be smelling, isn't it? Right then, so if we were to break down attitudes, we'll break down attitude, write this down. So we've got A, T, I, T, U, D, E. Feel like something from the countdown, eh? Is that how you spell it? Cool. And if we write this down, this is really good. I went on a coaching course and I learned this from there. And if we were to go by every word, I say A with where it comes in the alphabet, then there would be 1, 20, 20, 9, 20, 21, 4, and 5. Which will equal 100%. 100% good attitude.